I'm here with Kim Walker-Smith. We just got done doing worship. And Kim, tell me about that last song we just did. We just did Not Afraid.
Not Afraid.
And what happened in the room? The room exploded.
Yeah. Well, people were really excited right from the moment we started singing it, which, okay, so being a new song, it's kind of crazy that they we're right there, but we've been doing it at church, so maybe we got a bunch of church people out there. Everyone excited, engaged from the moment we get into it. And then, I don't know, I think it's a message that everyone can really identify with, and it resonates with them, the kind of breaking off fear and getting set free. So it felt like that's exactly what's happening in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy moment. I mean, you could tell that something was just taking place in that moment, and so I'm sure that'll make it into the albums. When you're listening to that, just know that moment was real. It was real life. So, what do you think's different about this album from previous albums that we've recorded?
Besides that, I'm older and more tired.
You're not older. No, I think you're younger actually than the last one we did.
Yeah, just
the Benjamin Button thing going on.
Well, we worked really hard preparing for this record, and with writing songs and practicing a lot, and I just feel like we all have really buckled down a lot more to put even more time into this album than...
She agrees.
Yeah, she does. I mean, we always practice and prepare, but it just feels like we put even more into this one and really getting ready for it. So it feels very intentional, I would say. And the message, the kind of combined message and the messages of all the songs, it just feels very, very intentional.
All right, I'm here with Chris Quilala right now. We just got done recording for the album. Tell me about some of the moments we just had.
It's been amazing. The cool thing, we recorded Unstoppable Love. No. Yes. Unstoppable Love here. And this venue, I don't know if it's just the acoustic, but everybody's so loud, singing so loud. So that translates, there's been a ton of engagement right off the bat. And again, they're all new songs, so which is always a bit of a challenge, introducing a new song in a live worship set at a conference where there's not a whole lot of time, but it's just everybody's jumped right in, and it seems like they're grabbing a hold of all the songs and the choruses, and so it's been a lot of fun seeing the reaction.
So with that being said, leading into why do we do live albums? I mean, we could do studio, we could go that route, but what is different about doing a live album, and why have we done it since the beginning?
We started, like you said from the beginning, we started doing live albums, and there was just something that happened when we got together and we worshiped, and we wanted to capture that moment. And so whether someone was taking that and listening to it in a CD in their car or whatever, we wanted to encounter the love of Jesus, we wanted to encounter the presence of Jesus, which we were encountering at a youth group or at our conferences. And so for us, the live experience, it's just always been, it's just what we love to do. The studio's fun too. I did a studio album, which is it's totally different. Kim just did a studio album. Fun expression, but for us the live is what we've always done and what we've always just seems to work. So,
all right, here we go. I'm here with Brian and Katie Torwalt. We just finished with the afternoon session. We ended with Defender. That's going to be a song that Katie leads on the album. Tell us a little bit about that moment. It was a really special moment in worship.
Yeah, I loved it. This whole set was really great.
It
was a great day and it was a great set. But that song just means a lot to me. Some of our good friends showed us that song several months back, and immediately I really connected to it. We've been writing a lot in our community for these albums and just for the church, writing our own worship songs, but this is actually the first cover that I'll ever have recorded.
Awesome.
And the song, it just stuck out to me. And there's a line in it, the pre-chorus just goes, all I did was praise, all I did was worship, all I did was bow down, all I could do was stay still. And for me, that has been my life right now. It's just been sometimes everything's stripped away and you have to go back to that place of just simplicity and worship and just the true heart behind what we're doing. And so for me, that stuck out to me and I just latched onto that moment.
So tell me a little bit about the writing process for this album. How has it been different? I know that you wrote a lot of these new songs on the record. How has it been different from albums in the past?
Well, for us, that's how we started. We were just doing songs that were moving us. And so a few of these banding, it's hey, I love what's on this song. I've been worshiping in my devotions and stuff and encountering the Lord, and that's how it started for us. We weren't writing back in the day, and so we're just it's finding these songs that are moving us and moving banding, moving the church, and let's record these.
So Kim, tell us. I have a question for you. Do you have any worship fail stories?
Yes. Lots of them. Probably the best one though, I was standing on stage with a wireless microphone, as always, and I had my eyes closed and I'm singing and worshiping, and I think I just got lost in the moment, I don't know, but I fell off the stage. Like literally fell off the stage. And all of a sudden I'm opening my eyes and I'm down on the floor and I still have my microphone in my hand and everyone's just looking at me and someone's like, "Are you okay?" And I didn't know what to do, so I just stood there and I kept singing from down on the floor, and then I slowly like
Was
made
this
myself,
like a
made
head
my way
first,
back
like
up.
you just kind of like went down?
No,
or was
no,
it
like I like stepped off and then I just flew down to the ground.
Oh my goodness.
And that was, yeah. But I've had so many of those that, you know, you just laugh and keep going.
Just
I
keep
worked my
going.
way back up onto the stage while just still singing the whole time.
It was totally part. It was like,
Yeah, like
why
I
didn't you guys
just acted
catch
like
me,
I meant
right?
to do it. Yeah. I was like, come on, I was trying to crowd surf.
Yeah, the lame crowd, man. What has it been like collaborating with other artists as we kind of move into a new season, maybe doing more cover songs and things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have been writing with like a community of people for the last little while. We always have been writing together, but for us, it's about finding the song that you connect with in that moment for that season. And so that's kind of what Defender was for this. It was like, this feels like there's something on it, felt connected with like us, the season that we're in with Katie, where she's in having a baby, and just like that moment of like, okay, we gotta strip everything back, we stay still, and we're like figuring everything out again. And so for us, it felt like, hey, this is amazing. We want to declare this over our life, you know, let alone everyone else on the album and stuff like that.
And honestly, Jesus Culture started with a lot of cover songs that we connected to, that we had heard elsewhere, that whether it's Kim or Chris or whoever was leading, and just making them our own and singing them just for our conferences, just like this. And and so it's we're kind of returning almost to some of that, and we're mixing in some of our original songs too. But I love that we're doing that, because like Brian was saying, it's just like, for us, it's just about like, what's God saying right now, because that's what we want to say. So if that's our song, great. If somebody else wrote it and we connect to it,
and
great.
there's a sense of unity that comes in that.
Totally.
It's not
Yeah.
like mine and yours, but ours is collectively.
Yeah.
And I mean, what's that been like? I know that there's been some writers' retreats, things like that, as we're writing this album. Can you guys tell us a little bit about that writing process of this album?
It's been really fun. We've had a couple of different times now where we've had a handful of friends from all over the place come to Sacramento for like a week, and they'll just jump from house to house. And so
awesome.
for us, it's fun. We'll cook food, and it's, you know,
cook, hang out, and try to write some songs.
Yeah, this is like the best thing.
And just, it's really fun. We've gotten, actually the song that Brian's singing on this album, Be Crowned, we got this last one during one of our writing retreats here. And it was just flowed out pretty naturally.
The better the food, the better the song. Right?
That's our motto.
Actually, it's probably the better the food, the less songs.
The less songs that
actually
happen, it's more community, but
But you know, it's all right. No.
We need both, right?
So I got a question for you. I'm sure a lot of followers are wondering this. It's unrelated to music completely. What is the secret to not aging?
Not aging? I don't know if I have. Do I have that? I got a few grays coming in, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you have any worship fail moments?
We have so many. We have so many. I fell through a stage at Hillsong. Didn't fall through the stage. It was. They said, hey, you know, we're gonna lead an afternoon session at this small venue, which happened to have like 3,500 people. And I went to go like after worship, say hello to someone, and there was a gap between the stage and the stairs, and I take a step and I just disappear. My hand is extended, this leg's like through the stage, and I don't know.
That's great.
That stuff, you know, happens all the time.
And what do you think the impact on people? I know that like a lot of our albums have a theme, that like Unstoppable Love, there was a theme behind the season. What do you think the season is that we're in that this is communicating?
Oh man, I feel nervous trying to say that without banning here. Who are we kidding though? Yeah. I love being the boss. Okay, so let's see. I mean, I'm the first one you've interviewed, right? So I could just say, you know.
We'll have to cut this later when Penny sees it, but you guys will get the exclusive view.
You know, I think that I feel like the God is breathing something fresh on the movement. You know, so we just we're like almost 3.5 years planting the church, putting so much into the church, growing the church, building the church, starting the church, all of that. But I feel like God is saying, okay, like now I'm ready to breathe some fresh life on the movement again and on the music and what you're doing. And so I feel like this album and all the intentionality in it and the message is just I think it's just boldness, and it's just going into something new. Banning said after this set, after Not Afraid, Banning came out and he said, with the Lord, he's talking about the year of Jubilee and how it's like all your debts, everything is wiped away and you're just starting fresh. And I just feel like that's kind of what this is.
Yeah.
Like we're starting fresh, something new.
So tell me, guys, this is a big question.
Yeah.
Tell us some worship fail moments
Worship
you
fail.
guys have had.
Ooh.
We
have some.
have a lot of like little fails, like every single worship set. Lots of wrong chords, singing lots of wrong
Yeah.
notes happens all the time.
Making up lyrics as we go.
Yeah, but
Everyone
Whatever,
does that,
you know.
to
a
be
few
honest.
years ago we were doing a tour, and it was like one of our first tours where we were like headlining the tour, a bunch of churches.
Which means that we were the only ones on stage and everyone was there worshiping with us.
Yeah.
So there was no one to fall back on, basically. is
Yeah.
what we're saying.
Yeah.
There wasn't a third, fourth worship leader that you could be like, hey, cover for me.
Yeah, it was just
So,
us.
and this was also the year, you have to remember, that I had some vocal problems, and so I was like overly cautious, drinking tons of water. And they had, this church that we went to had like the
Little
baby bottles.
Oh yeah, the
Which will
worst.
trick you because
Yeah.
you're like, you probably drink 7 or 8, but you think, oh, I'm just drinking like a drop of water.
Yeah.
Anyways, we had a 2-hour set, and I drank probably, like I said, like 8 or 9 of those. During one of the last songs, I'm trying to tell Brian, like, I have to go to the bathroom so bad. Like, please cover for me.
What did
And
that
he-
look like? How were you communicating?
So
while you were
literally,
talking?
I was like, well, actually,
Meanwhile-
I came over to him and I said, "This is so bad, you guys." But
Oh,
I
no.
really was like, "I think you're supposed to like sing a prophetic song." Is that what I said?
You're like, go into a ministry time, go into
Oh.
a ministry time.
Oh my
I
gosh.
like convinced him that he was supposed to, and I was like
You
feeling
you
that.
used Jesus as a
Um,
scapegoat here in this
God
moment.
wanted me to. He needed
Yeah,
me.
and
I had to go to
people
the
got
bathroom
ministered
so
to.
bad. I was like, I think
sure
you're
they
supposed to
did.
minister. So as soon as my
Meanwhile-
song ends,
Oh,
so Brian actually had to go to the bathroom.
So bad. Like I was curling my toes in my shoes. I had to go so bad.
I didn't
You're
know that,
singing
of
one
course.
octave higher.
And she comes over. I was about
I
to
was
lean
like,
over.
go to ministry.
I was about to lean over and tell her,
I walked
skip
off.
that song. We're gonna just go to the last song.
I walked
And-
off the stage before that.
and she
the last
was-
song was my song.
I
You
look
said,
over
go
and
to
she's
ministry
gone.
time.
I
and
said,
you just,
you're supposed
she-
to minister. Bye.
So anyway,
then-
Oh.
she comes back. Ministry time ends. We go into the song that she's leading,
Brian puts his guitar down and leaves.
and I start. It's just
I didn't
acoustic
know
in
what
her
was going
voice.
Because he,
and
he
then
never
as
told
soon,
me he had to go to the bathroom.
as soon as the band
Oh.
drops in, I like ditch the guitar.
So literally within like a 10-minute span of like the last 15 minutes of our set, we both walked off stage at different times. Just like, didn't even say anything to anybody, just nonchalant. So immature.
So Kim, what was different about the writing process of this album than albums in the past?
Yeah, so we were writing with a lot of intention, just really trying to feel out what we feel like the Lord is saying for this time and for this album and for our church and for the church. And we did a lot of co-writing. We had a few weeks set up where lots of different writers and friends came in. We all did a ton of writing together. But the other thing that's really kind of different is a lot of people know, like, all the people who've been following Jesus culture forever since our first album, they know that we started off doing covers, doing cover songs, because we weren't necessarily trying to become writers or create albums, but we didn't really expect all this to happen. And we were just doing the songs that really like meant something or spoke to us in our youth group times or whatever. And with this record, we decided that we wanted to explore that. Like I kind of went, if someone else wrote a song that I didn't write that really speaks to me,
Totally.
I want to be able to do that song and to sing that song. So normally we're like, well, it's our record, we really want to write the songs.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. But this time we're like, no, we just felt like we kind of wanted to go back to that a little bit
Yeah.
and just kind of, there's a few covers. There's still going to be probably pretty new songs to a majority of people, but a few covers that we didn't write, that we just wanted to bring those in because we feel like that's what God is speaking.
Yeah, and it really feels too like the collaboration between churches is a lot different and larger than it was before.
She
And,
really has a thing to say about the writing.
What did you think about the writing, Maisie? I agree. So, okay, so you guys do a lot of studio albums. So
Yeah.
on this Jesus Culture album, Jesus Culture has been doing live albums pretty much since the entirety, from the beginning.
Yeah.
And so in a live album versus studio album, how does that kind of frame and shape the song versus just like a studio song?
Yeah. I mean, something that's always cool about leading worship, and we get asked the question a lot about you lead, you know, some of these songs hundreds of times or whatever. Why, you know, how does it stay fresh for you? How does it stay, how do you stay connected to it? And something that really makes a difference is every congregation, every group of people, every moment that we're in, it's different, because what people need and why they're singing those words and the way they're singing those words and how they're connecting to the song is different because of where they're at. And so something that's really cool about the conference is that we've always, from the beginning, like you said, with Jesus Culture, I think I came to my first Jesus Culture conference in like 2006 or 5. Something's captured in the moment. That we have something special in the studio. Obviously, we love the songs just on their own with just the two of us. They mean a lot to us, but the actual anointing, the room, the moment that we're in together, that's able to be captured in some of these conferences, and that's something that is really special. And I think hopefully people will feel kind of like transported to that moment with us. And a lot of the prophetic and the spontaneous songs come out in these moments, and they're kind of drawn out of you just in those moments.
People are so hungry, and I think that there is this expectation created that, you know, you don't necessarily have in the studio. We do, and we honestly love studio albums, but there is something that happens in a live setting, and especially like this, a hometown conference where we're in it together, and it feels like there's, you know, half of our church is here, plus people have traveled from all over the place, and there is this
anticipation for the Holy Spirit to move, and He does. He does. He shows up in a really special way for, you know, in a different way for different people. I love that.
All right, I'm backstage right after worship in probably our most important interview of this entire session. So I'm here with Maisie Smith and her mother. Maisie, tell me, what was your favorite song of the entire set? She's speechless. All right, back to you guys.
So Chris, we've asked a couple other people this question. This is probably the most important question we're going to ask you tonight. What is your favorite, or has been your favorite, Kim Walker-Smith hairstyle?
Oh, wow. Help me out. What was the album? We Cry Out? Might have been pretty good.
Is that the faux hawk?
In here, Josh.
I don't know what my favorite hairstyle is. I think I would love to see just shaved all the way down. Slick Kim.
We should do
Kim,
that.
slick
for the
it.
end. Whenever this is going on, we should shave Kim's head for the end of the video.
For charity.
Bonus features.
We should shave it for charity.
This is a big one. This is probably one of our more important questions of the
Okay.
interview. What would you say is your favorite Kim Walker-Smith hairstyle?
Oh, wow.
Spike. I like the
Spiked.
spike.
You like the faux hawk?
Yeah.
She had the short, like, spikier hair. What was that, like 2005, 6, something like that?
Yeah.
Around there. That was a good look. I like her hair now. I have to say, it's my favorite. She really looks good with red hair.
She just brings the fire.
Yeah, she does. She already, So
Yeah.
it just
Say that
fits
one more
her.
time.
Brings the fire?
The fire.
The fire.
Oh, okay. All right.
No,
He's from
it
Canada.
just
You're the
suits
one that
her.
stood at
It
the
suits
bar.
her, right?
Bring
It
the
looks so
Jafar
good.
with me.
I think she should keep it forever. It looks amazing.
Okay, great. So the unicorn spike was
That was
the-
Brian's favorite. Mine's
Brian's
the
favorite.
red,
Yeah, yours is the red
like
hair.
flowy long hair.
Great.
It's pretty cute.
Okay, this is a really important question for you. Probably
Okay.
the most important one we've asked so far.
I'm so ready.
So over the last 20 years, what would you say has been your favorite Kim Walker-Smith hairstyle?
I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming. Okay. Man, there's just been so many hairstyles. It's probably a toss-up between when it was like a faux hawk, like short and spiky and dark and kind of like faux hawk right in the center, because I love that. I just love having short hair. But also, I like being a redhead. I mean, if that's natural, that
Just
feels
bringing the fire, you know?
Right.
Literally.
It just feels like it fits me. You know, fire personality, fiery.
Yeah.
It's just fitting, right?
Yeah, it totally is.
Yeah.
Okay, between spiky hair and redhead, why don't you guys let us know what's your favorite, and we'll take a vote, all right?
But the floor almost disappeared here earlier yesterday.
Yeah, tell us about that. What happened in there?
I don't even know. The hydraulics went out. The floor in the auditorium. This is all going on here on this DVD,
Whatever you say.
Blu-ray. Netflix streaming. Yeah,
Real
so
hipster.
the floor, something happened in the middle of elevation, leading worship. The floor started, something happened. And Bannon got up and said, if we don't get out now, we may all die. Right? Basically, he said that. And then, but he said, don't worry, if you get off the floor for a minute and come back on, you're gonna be totally fine. So that's what everybody did. But there was less people on the floor when they came back in.
Yeah, that's it.
I gotta go.
All right.